Okay, I don't know how well this thing works, and let's see if the zoom will work. No, it just takes a picture. The other way. Yeah. Zooms in too much. That's the thing I don't like about this video camera. Okay, trying to hold it steady so you don't get sick. So, even though I've already swapped the axles, or I'm sorry, the leaf springs under the axles, this is how high I would sit with the leaf springs over the axle. I actually would sit a little bit higher since the leaf springs were hitting the frame and I couldn't attach the shackles. So, try and give you a good look of it. At least if I get back into the house here. Trying to give you a good view of how high this darn thing sits. Probably a good 2.5 feet off the ground at the rear bumper here. That way we will stop it and I will switch over to, you see the jack there, I'll lower it down to where it would sit, how it is configured right now with the axle over the leaf spring setup, which was the way the stock way was. If you're wondering what the hell I'm doing, it now has my Ford 9-inch in it. The factory Pontiac rear end went to the guy that sold me this car, since his stuff is all stock, and this thing's highly modified already since it has a Camaro sub front end on it. So okay, let's stop and lower this sucker. Even though it looks much lower, and this is with the already with the axle over the leaves, but it's sitting to where those are where the shackles could attach. I will show you these funky shackles. These shackles bolt to the leaf spring, but technically don't bolt to the frame. These aren't the right bolts, I'm sure, for stock, but so you have the center bolt with a spacer. One side bolts through the leaf spring, this bolts, and then up here it just clamps on like a stud. There's no bolt at the top. It's hokey as heck. So probably gonna dump that idea. But anyways, you get a it doesn't seem like it sits that higher, but it also doesn't have any weight on it because the U-bolts are junk. And oddly enough, this axle goes from like 2.5 to 3 inch on the tube in the worst possible place. Of course, where the leaf spring happens to go. So I'm going to have to use bigger U-bolts. I will have to wallow out or re-drill or make new spring, lower spring pads, whatever, I don't know, shock mounts to it, but I'll have to modify that, and it'll be looser on one side and tight on the other. I kind of like this, and since I'm saying those shackles are junk, if I have to, I could do the old huge 6-inch foot-long shackles to give it that old hot rodder look, the old way we used to raise these suckers. Tire clearance is actually pretty good. It's a little loose. It needs to be pushed back a little bit. You're thinking that looks horrible, but do you think this is actually attached where it goes? No, it's not attached at all. So I could do something about that. I could do temporary. I could put something in there to push it out. Other than that, and I got plenty of tire clearance on the top, if it ever did want to rub. And if you're wondering if it's gonna hit here, most likely no, because it wants to swing back this way. So I'm gonna call that close enough. I gotta get parts anyway, so I'll stand up. It's taller than me, but I'm only 5'6", so I'd say it stands about 6'6". Lots of junk inside. Good enough. I will call that done. Maybe this video is only 5 minutes and you won't be annoyed by me. Don't know if I'll get in time for next month, but I will try. And as I always say, see ya.